Lane 2, Hazelwood. Lane 3, Bell Fountain Neighbors. Lane 4, Berkeley. 5 is Ferguson. 6 is Delwood. And of course, the fast lane, once again, lane 4. Now, go ahead, Tony.
Very good, Dan, as we have the finals. In first place, the Delwood team, Pilla, Quigley, Pilla, and McDuffie, a time of 1:14:33. In second place, we have Ferguson, Borstek, Woods, Hartman, Darnell, 1:16:20. In third, Bell Fountain Neighbors, 1:22.
Not turning their head to breathe, except very seldom. Keep their head down and go as fast as they can.
Bell Fountain Neighbors, Hazelwood, and Berkeley round out the relay.
And if I'm correct, Tony, that is a new meet record that time in that event.
1:14:33. Congratulations to the Delwood swim team. 6 to 8 boys relay. I guess they have a few coaches excited about their prospects.
Lane 4, the red starting block. Lane 5, the green starting block. Those teams in lane 4, Berkeley. Lane 5, Ferguson. We can see in a couple of these relays already what you talked about, the 4-man or the 4 swimmers, the difference. Sometimes we've seen these teams swim even for 3 of the 4 legs, but it's that one leg that has separated them.
It's hard to find 4 good swimmers. Berkeley's done a good job in the last several years of getting a lot of depth in their team. They've always had good swimmers, but they just didn't have enough of them.
This looks like the most one-sided race we've had so far today.
I noticed something, B, about the last swimmer as he dived in. He had sort of like a loop to his dive. How important is it to come up with a good, crisp, straight-ahead dive?
It depends on how far ahead you are. If you're real far ahead, you get careless.
So as we see Berkeley coasting the victory here.
And I had about a 149 on that, so that's well off the record. But nonetheless, a win.
Berkeley is doing well in the relays.
Now, how much of a portent or an omen is that for what will happen in the individual events?
Usually, I hate to say this, but usually if they do well in the relays, then it's going to be a close meet. Because you get points, a lot of points for relays. And don't ask me how many because I forgot.
That's B. Walker with us. Dan Reardon's here. I'm Tony Washington from January Wabash Park. This is a beautiful park. I love to come out here all the time. And we have the North County Swim Meet.
Event number 8, the 13 to 14 freestyle relay. Lane 2, Hazelwood. 3 is Bell Fountain Neighbors. 4 is Berkeley. 5 is Ferguson. 6 is Delwood.
And who's favorite? You guessed it. The Berkeley team of Grellner, Borcherding, Osborne, and Osborne.
Record time in this, 1:57:56, and I missed the start on that one, so again, we'll have to wait and see.
I'm glad you're doing that because I get so excited I forget to push the clock anyway.
Well, I heard your pen click over there. I thought you had a watch.
I didn't bring a watch tonight.
Looks like we have a pretty close contest here.
Team from Berkeley is Grellner, Borcherding, Osborne, and Osborne.
3, 4, and 5. Now this is where where they're going to need 4 strong ones.
As B was telling
and actually, 6 is still in the picture. That would be Hazelwood. Check that Delwood in lane 6. Now the big separation once again on this leg.
Berkeley appears to be out in front of, I guess somewhere along the line, they found the coordination that you were talking about, B. Their swimmers seem to be doing the job, all of them.
Bell Fountain in second on the change.
It started out being very close. Now it appears that somewhere Berkeley is just pulled away, somewhere in about the second or third swimmer, and it appears to be just the coast right now.
County Alwood report to the announcer's table. County Alwood report to the announcer's table, please.
You must be doing something right, though, Tony. None of the swimmers have checked in with us yet.
Again, you see Berkeley well out in front.
Almost a full length.
I can't understand that, B. Everything appeared to be so close, and I was looking forward to one of those hotly contested finishes and all, and it just appears to be that Berkeley just fired on out and took over.
That fourth person could be vital.
Bellefontaine finishing second as we look to the boys 15 to 18. This is the oldest age group, freestyle relay. Lane 2, Bellefontaine Neighbor. Lane 3, Ferguson. Lane 4, Berkeley. Lane 5, Delwood. Lane 6, Hazelwood.
This has always been one of my favorite age group to watch because they give everything they've got and they just go.
The record set last year by Ferguson of 133.47.
Berkeley is favored, but keep your eye on the Ferguson team. They are the dark horse in event number 9.
Berkeley has 2 superb swimmers in Jeff Cummings and Scott Chapman.
So you're saying that if they get off to good starts, they could put it out of reach before it even...
The Bricky brothers are just as good.
And they were part of that record-setting team last year. There's our first false start of the evening. In fact, 3 of the 4 swimmers from Ferguson's team, Woods, Bricky, and Bricky, are all swimming in this event.
So we have a pretty good meet here as it shapes up. There you see 15 to 18 boys freestyle.
Stay with them, stay with them.
And we see that it's kind of closely contested.
It's going to be that way all the way down, I bet.
Right now, lane 3, Ferguson, swimming with about half a body length.
Depends if Jeff Cummings and Scott Chapman, if they swam in the order they were in the book, you can't recognize them with their bathing caps on.
One of the keys, though, is that Berkeley just didn't run away with this thing, so Ferguson has a chance.
Yeah, they're going to have to do some work. Berkeley is right now. And this, I believe, is Jeff Cummings now in the pool, and he has made up the difference.
We told you that
this
Cummings...
is Ferguson ahead. But
and everybody's
here
getting excited now, too.
All right,
that's dead even on the last leg.
Here we go. We told you that Ferguson had an outside chance of winning this thing, and we'll see.
Well, they're right there on the turn, and that's Ferguson coming out ahead on the turn. They're at the left side of your screen, Ferguson.
Here we go. They appear to have the lead. And Ferguson has won.
Time?
132.41. If that holds up, that's a new meet record.
And you can see that several people were really happy about Ferguson, the defending champions of last year. And we were talking, well, Ferguson's chances were sort of remote coming into the meet overall, but I guess that's because they have a lot of young swimmers now that they're working with.
Swimming is like any other sport. You can be on top for a while, and then it kind of flip-flops, and you have to start building your team over again.
We have coming up the girls 15 to 18 freestyle relay. Bellefontaine in 2, Delwood in 3, Berkeley in 4, Ferguson in 5, and in 6, Hazelwood. The record in the event, 151.85, set last year by Berkeley.
Berkeley is the favorite here. Outside chance, I guess, is Delwood. You could say that.
As I look at the record, it looks like Kim Sattler, the only member of the team that set the record last year, swimming for Berkeley this year.
As you see, this is a very beautiful pool and facilities they have here at January Wabash Park.
And a lot more pleasant evening than it was last year when it was about 95 degrees.
I was glad I wasn't here last year.
A lot more pleasant for me indeed, because I had a gray flannel suit on, and I don't want to think about that.
How about weather for a swimmer? Obviously wind you don't want, but other than that, is the temperature ever a factor?
If it's too hot, the water gets hot, and your times slow down. I always prefer to swim in cold water. I swim much better in cold water.
You know, I think we should point out right now the job being done at the top of the pool by lane 6, the Hazelwood team. There you get a look at Hazelwood on the turn. We'll see how they come out of that turn.
And surprised because
But that is Hazelwood in the lead.
Hazelwood has always had strong swimmers.
and they're well out in front. You know, B, I kind of get a big kick out of watching the underdogs come from out of nowhere as far as the times are concerned to win these things.
Well, Tony, as I said earlier, these times in this book are not official.
That's what makes it fun, I guess.
This is going to be Hazelwood. A big push coming right now from Ferguson.
But it
They're
appears
really
to
in a
be,
battle for second.
what it appears to be Hazelwood's day, and they
I have a
have won.
152.50, so probably not a record. And that'll do it for the relay events. Now we move back to the younger swimmers again. We have the event 11, the 6 to 10 boys, intermediate. Lane 1, Brandon Mallet from Ferguson. Lane 2, Tumulty Brabish from Berkeley. Lane 3, Panagnos from Bellefontaine Neighbors. 4, Tobin from Delwood. 5, Nichols from Bellefontaine Neighbors. 6, Hall from Bellefontaine Neighbors. And 7, Graham from Hazelwood.
Keep your eye. I'm sorry, go ahead, B.
This is one of, I think, the hardest events in swimming. The swimmer must be able to do all 4 strokes well. It's very tiring, and it's a battle of endurance.
Keep your eye on Nichols from Bellefontaine Neighbors. He finished prelims with 129.50. Tobin, the favorite, 128.08. And again, he appears to have an outside chance of winning here. We're underway.
The order of the strokes.
Butterfly, back, breast, and free.
And at this age, they're swimming each stroke 25 meters, so when they change directions, they'll change strokes. Is that right?
That's correct, 25 yards.
And at what age will they do the turn and swim the 50 meter on the stroke?
11, 12. The butterfly takes a lot of energy, so that by the time you're on your back, you better have a good backstroke.
Lane 4, Tobin in the lead.
He was sort of stymied at one time as far as getting his strokes down. He appeared to be struggling as he got toward the...
Tony, when you get to the end of each lap on an IM, you're struggling.
it just appeared to me that he was sort of stymied or something. Something was keeping him from really, I guess, getting his form down pat.
That's Tobin in the blue swim camp. Nichols in the gold. Now the freestyle finish. Yeah, they look like they're swimming uphill at this point in time. And
they feel like they're swimming uphill.
Lane 5, Nichols is making a little bit of a move, but not enough pool left.
Though, as you see, Tobin, he's victorious.
Somewhere around 123, certainly well off the record.
This next one, event number 12, there's only one person in it who is not from Berkeley.
You're right. That's Kelly swimming in lane 1 from Hazelwood. The rest are all from Berkeley.
So I wonder who's going to win this thing.
Somebody from Berkeley, I bet.
Starting from lane 2, then the Berkeley swimmers are Mraz, Murphy, Caslin, Mulder, Becky or Buke, and Nelson.
I'm going to go with Becky. That's my favorite right there.